Hello, my name is Whitney Nicely, and this video is from Ask Whit Wednesday, which is really, really fun. We do this every week in my Facebook group, and I would like to invite you to join in on the fun. So go to whitneynicely.com/group. That way we can answer these questions live for you on Wednesday. Now, if you have any other questions, you can submit them to me in these comments, but I go with the group questions first. Okay, somebody asked me this question, and I thought it was a awesome question. Can you do a lease option on a duplex? And initially, I said no. But what I want to say is that if you have a duplex, you cannot lease option one side of it. You could do a lease option for the whole unit. You could do what's called a master lease option, yes. But like we have a triplex in Morristown, Tennessee. A lease option says that I am selling you this house, you're going to make these monthly payments, and in a certain amount of time, you're going to buy it. Well, we don't want that to happen on our triplex. We just want regular renters in our triplex. So originally, I'm going to say no. But if you're looking to buy a duplex or a triplex or a quadplex or a 10-unit or whatever, you can put a master lease option on that property so that instead of those tenants sending the seller their money every month, they send it to you and you send a payment to the seller. You can do a master lease option like that. If you're living in a duplex or a triplex or a quadplex or something right now, you can call your landlord and say, hey man, would you think about selling me this thing? And they might say yes. And then when you pay your rent, you would also collect rent from your plex mates and you could be buying the property. So I originally said no, but now I'm saying yes. But you don't want to, if you're owning it, you can't, like we could not lease option 3 units in our triplex because then we'd have 3 different people trying to buy it. So no, you can't do that. Right?
That's right. And a good tip out there, I mean, we talked about duplexes and triplexes and stuff like that. I generally sometimes shy away from them because they're smaller and things like that, may not get the same return. But with that being said, per unit, the one that we have produces better than anything else we have. If anybody's out there and your kid is about to go off to college and you're worried about student housing or they don't want to live in the dorm, they want to live, I'm telling you, if you can find a triplex that you can buy and stick them in one of the units, rent the other 2 units out to college students, or heck, it can even be, not college students or whatever. In all likelihood, the rent from those other 2 units will cover your kid to live there basically for free. And not only that, you'll be paying down on the principal every month. So
you'll be gaining an asset.
So I encourage people all the time. I said, if I'd known what I know now when my kids were born, I would have bought them a house. I tell a story all the time. I'm an outdoorsman. I think it's pretty cool that you can have stuff and memories that trigger certain things. So when my kids were born, the day they were born, I went out and bought a shotgun. And when they get to a certain age that they're responsible enough to have that, it's a gift to them. And it says, hey, I've been holding this thing since the day you were born. So for the rest of their life, they'll be like, hey, I got this and my dad bought it the day I was born. But that's not really going to do anything. It may provide some opportunities with them if they're into, hunting and stuff like that. What if I bought them a house, though? And I said, hey, I bought this the day you were born. And that's a gift to you, right? You're leaving high school. You can live in it. You can rent it out for extra income. You can sell it and go on a trip, whatever you want to do. But I gave you an asset, and I bought this the day you were born. To me, I think that's a pretty awesome thing. And I wish I'd have known back then what I know now.
And one thing that I want to point out on that story is if the shotguns, I don't know, I wasn't there. If they were $1,000 or $1,500, you could have given that $1,000 or $1,500 to a seller. You could have had somebody else living in the house. So you would have had the same money invested in a gun as you did in a house. And then you would have been able to give them a house that was cash flowing and probably paid off in 18 years, then I don't want to say a trinket, but, not a house.
And it's kind of funny. We've been talking about that for a while. It occurred to me at an auction. We had a lady show up and, she was one of the neighbors, and she had a kid with her. And so the auctioneer knew her, and he said something about her. He said, well, surprised you're here. Y'all been today? She goes, no, I would have absolutely no use for a house. And so I looked at her, I said, other than to buy it for him, for his future, right? And it just kind of clicked. And so since then, I've told that story, numerous times, when I've been speaking or other things that I've done. And I've actually had some people text me back or email me back and say, hey, I did it. And I'm like, you did what? They're like, I bought a house for my kid, and by the time they graduate, it's going to be free and clear. And I'm like, that's awesome. And I'm kind of jealous, and I'm like, great, I'm telling other people something I should have done myself. So,
we're on our way now. It's okay. We'll have it done by the time they graduate.
I hope I've answered your questions. If you have more, please join the Facebook group, WhitneyNicely.com/group, and that'll take you straight into Become a Real Estate Rockstar with Whitney Nicely. Answer 3 little questions. We'd be glad to have you into the group. And don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel.